Hello and welcome to Sew Amelia, my channel where I share all about making a handmade wardrobe for me and my children. In this week's video, I am sharing some makes that I've just recently finished and a little bit of a birthday haul, so I do hope you'll stick around. Welcome back to my channel for today's video. It's a bit of a hodgepodge today of lots of different things, as I just had a few different things I wanted to share with you. So today is my birthday and we've had a lovely day so far. I made some cinnamon rolls for breakfast and I've got one here to enjoy whilst I film this video, or perhaps afterwards. But before I get started on my birthday haul, I thought I would share a couple of recent makes. Now these were in my October plans video, so if you do want to see more detail about the pattern, including the different sizes that it comes in and the details of each pattern, please do head over to my October plans video. I'll pop it in the description box below for more details about these patterns. So the first pattern I'm going to share with you that I've recently made is the Anna Allen Persephone pants, and I am so delighted with these. If you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I have a 30-inch waist and 41-inch hips, which is just enough of a difference to make buying ready-to-wear pants difficult, if not impossible. And I've just been really terrified of fitting and making my own trousers for a very long time, but we are heading into the cooler weather and I do cycle my children to school every day, so in terms of practicality I need some trousers in my wardrobe. So I decided to try the Anna Allen Persephone pants. I love a high-waisted pant or trouser and I really like the wide-legged look, so these seemed like the perfect fit. So the Anna Allen trousers are a sailor style pant with a high waist and a button fly. So the first thing I decided to do on my pair was to change out the button fly for a zip closure. I prefer zips, I prefer the way they sit on me as well over my tummy, and I just find them more comfortable in general. So I did change out the button fly for a zip fly. There is an extra pattern piece that you can get on the Anna Allen website to make that change, and I have to say the instructions were brilliant. I was really nervous about sewing a zip fly. It's not something I've ever done before and it just looks so complicated, but I have to say the instructions were brilliant and the zip fly went in really nicely. So there they are. You can see from the trousers that they have two little pocket detail pieces up here. Now whilst I really like the look of those, I'm finding them to be not the most practical in terms of a pocket. I have seen some people put these pockets on the front here, but I wonder if next time if I might just put a couple of pockets on the back here or just leave them off altogether. I decided to use a remnant piece of fabric in a nice bright colour for the inside of the pocket bags there, and I'm really pleased with the finish. On the back there are some lovely darts over the top of your bottom to really get that fit really nice, and then their instructions are to top stitch these seams down to make sure everything is nice and secure. I just decided to use top stitching thread that matched the colour of the trousers, as I wasn't really going for feature top stitching in this particular pair of trousers, but I'm thinking of making them again in a more rigid denim for the winter, and I may try and do some contrast top stitching on those if I'm feeling a bit brave. So the instructions for those trousers were very methodical, very well laid out. I found them very easy to follow, especially in terms of making my first pair of trousers. Now, like I said, I have a 30-inch waist and 41-inch hips, so I fell into a size 10 across the waist and a size 12 across the hips. So I wasn't sure how to grade these trousers because they don't have a side seam. So the trouser piece has only this interior leg seam here, or inside leg seam, but the leg piece is in one whole piece. So I wasn't sure about how to fit that, but on the Anna Allen website there is a brilliant tutorial about how to grade the Persephone pants between sizes, either up or down depending on your measurements. So I just used that tutorial and it was fantastic. It was easy to follow. I graded the pattern and I'm so pleased with the fit. I think they fit really well. They feel very comfortable. The crotch is at the right depth. There's no riding up or uncomfortable issues when I sit or when I stand. So I'm really pleased with that. The only thing I do notice is I have got some creasing just down here in the sort of a V at the bottom of the crotch. And doing some research, it would seem that that means that I need to do a bit of a forward adjustment on the crotch. I think that's what it's called. If you've got any advice, do leave it in the comments below. This is my first pair of trousers, so I'm learning a lot about how to fit trousers to my body, and I'm looking forward to making another pair. So I think when I do that, I will have a go at doing that adjustment. I'm going to start with just like a 1/4 of an inch because, as I say, there's no issues with the fit. The crotch is not too tight or sitting uncomfortably. It's simply that I'm getting a few of those crease lines when I'm standing, and I'm wondering if a slight adjustment would help with the look of the front of the trousers. Now I should just say the final thing about these trousers is that I did make them in a beautiful Robert Kaufman Ventana cotton twill from So Me Sunshine, and I think it's called bottle green or forest green. I'll pop it in the description box below. It was fabulous to work with. It was really easy. It's not too heavy or thick. It's not stretch by any means. It is a lovely weight. I think it will be good for the autumn and going into the winter, and it's very light and comfortable to wear. So I think I could probably even wear these into the spring and possibly into the summer with perhaps an Ogden cami. But the fabric itself was really, really lovely to work with, especially for a first pair of trousers. And I'm looking forward to giving it a try in a slightly more rigid denim, which I feel needs a bit more experience, but having worked now with the cotton twill, I feel a bit more comfortable working with a more rigid denim. So I have been wearing these non-stop already. I absolutely love the colour of them, and I've been pairing them with all sorts of things in my wardrobe, from this stripy top here that I'm wearing today to my other Megan Nielsen Rowan bodysuit that I made in a bright pink colour, and I've also paired it with the next make that I'm going to show you. So the next thing I made was this Clemence jumper by Fibremood, and I bought this Atelier Brunette sweatshirting because I loved the version in the navy so much that I wanted to try it in the cream, and I thought that the greens in the pattern here would go really well with the green of the trousers, and they do, which is great. I have to admit I have been a little bit disappointed with this jumper. My measurements always place me in a slightly smaller size band on the top here than my waist and hips, and so often I'll be a size 10 in the bust and a size 12 for my waist and then a 14 for my hips. I just made a straight size 12 in this jumper because that's where my measurements placed me, but next time if I do make it again I would definitely size down, as the shoulders are quite wide on me and there is a lot of excess fabric here under the arms. It could also be more the style of this particular jumper. I do know it's a more oversized fit, but I think even for an oversized jumper it just has slightly too much fabric under my arms for me to feel 100% comfortable. However, I absolutely adore the fabric. It's very, very cozy and warm, and I think I will still wear this a lot through the winter. And because it's slightly more oversized, there's definitely enough room to put another warm layer underneath that to really make it very cozy and snuggly. I enjoyed sewing this shoulder detail here. It's very unusual, and I just wanted to try a jumper that had a slightly more unusual detail to it. It was very easy to sew. Fibremood instructions can be very basic, they are very basic. However, this was very straightforward to sew up. The instructions were fine, very straightforward pattern, came together in an evening, and I'm pleased with the style of it, but not necessarily the fit. But that's fine, not every make is perfect, and I think it's good to show the makes that we're really, really happy with, as well as the makes that we perhaps would do differently next time. So that is my Clemence top by Fibremood. I love the fabric, but again I would do the fit slightly differently next time were I to make it again. So before I go on to the next part of the video, I will quickly share what I'm wearing today, and that is the Megan Nielsen Rowan bodysuit, and I chose to make the version with the crew neck in this beautiful striped cotton jersey from Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door. And then my favourite dress, I'm sure you've seen it before if you watch my videos, but it is the Rosary Apparel hazel dress in a reddish viscose linen, which I bought from Rainbow Fabrics quite some time ago. I wear it all the time, at least once a week, as it's just so comfortable and easy to throw on with so many different tops underneath. I also made this headband to wear with this outfit today, and I followed a tutorial by Catherine, who is bringing sewing back over in Instagram. So if you'd like to have a look at how to make this headband, it's extremely simple and straightforward. It takes about 5 minutes, and I just love it for using up odds and ends of fabric, and I just love her tutorial for quickly whipping up a headband to go with any outfit. So on with the birthday haul. So I just thought I would share a few of the sewing related gifts that I got this year from some very kind family, and I'll start with this one. So I really wanted a tailor's ham to help me with pressing out the garments that I'm making, and this one will be very useful as I am making a shirt currently, so I'm really looking forward to using this to help me press out my shirt nicely. Now I know I could have made my own, but my sewing time is often really limited, so I did ask for this for my birthday and was very kindly gifted that. So the next thing that I asked for was a buttonhole cutter, which was recommended to me by several people here on YouTube for opening up my buttonholes safely after I ripped through a buttonhole on one of my garments a few months ago. I asked for the Clover 12mm buttonhole cutter, as I thought that was quite a good size, hopefully not too big for cutting most buttonholes, but we'll see how I get on with that. So the next thing I asked for was a bit of a funny one. It's called a tailor's awl, and it's a very sharp, pointy object. So I'll be keeping that high and out of reach in my sewing room, but this is really handy in terms of heirloom sewing for just holding the lace in place so that your fingers don't get caught under the needle of the sewing machine. Which I have done before. I do have these plastic ones that I have bought previously, but I don't love plastic, and also they're not particularly strong. They tend to bend if you put too much weight behind them. So I will still hold on to those, as I'm sure they will be useful from time to time, and I don't just want to throw them away. However, I did want to have an awl for my sewing kit, and I think I'll use that a lot. Don't worry, I will be putting that out of reach soon. The next thing I asked for was loop pressing bars. So very practical presents. I sew quite a few garments that have either waist ties or, as you'll see on this dress, have straps and things that need pressing out, and it's so fiddly trying to use your fingers in the iron, and I've been burnt with steam several times, so I decided to pop these on my birthday wish list this year to hopefully stop getting so many burnt fingers pressing out my loops and waist ties. So I'm really excited to use these. I think they were recommended by quite a few people again, and so I thought they'd make a good addition to my sewing toolbox. Now I have family that live abroad, so I did also get a couple of sewing vouchers to some lovely fabric shops, for which I'm extremely grateful. So I'm going to be looking out for some new fabric to buy in the next few months as well. Now the last thing I received from my family was this Fat Quarters Makes book, which I'm really excited about. I signed up for the Sew Hayley Jane subscription box, and I'm loving the fabric and the fat quarters. They're beautiful, and I love the tutorials in the magazine each month from Tamlin, who is sewn on the Tyne. But I also wanted some other ideas of perhaps gifts and things that I could make with those fat quarters. So I did ask for this book, and I'm looking forward to reading it properly later once the children are in bed, but I'm so excited about some of the things that I've seen in this book. Quite a few sort of quilted makes, as well as some more practical makes like pot holders and aprons, so I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into that later on. Now my birthday falls quite close to Christmas, so I asked my husband if we might look into getting me a new sewing machine for my birthday Christmas present. I bought the sewing machine that I use every day over 10 years ago now, and while it's done good service, it's kind of reaching the end of its life, and there are a few more things that I would like to do with my machine that my current machine doesn't do particularly well. So after quite a lot of research and after trying a few machines at the Knitting and Stitching show, I settled on the Pfaff Quilt Ambition. Now a wee while ago the new craft house was doing a deal on this machine where they also threw in a fabric voucher and a few free gifts, so we purchased it. It's been waiting in the loft for my birthday, and I was so excited to receive it today. So here she is. I haven't unboxed it yet, so I'm really excited to open the box up and see what's inside. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this more chatty sort of video. If you'd like to see a sewing machine review at any point, do leave me a comment below and let me know. If you've got any tips and tricks on how to use the Pfaff Quilt Ambition 630, I would love to hear them, so drop those in the comments as well. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, as well as subscribing and clicking on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a happy week of sewing, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye!